Hello, everybody. Cheryl at area here. Today is October 8th, 2023, and this is Sundays with Cheryl. Welcome back for our weekly talk with each other. Remember to subscribe and like us here by hitting the bell. I don't know what's going on with YouTube and the comment areas, but be patient. We're going to find out on our YouTube for going through a lot of things. So if you can't comment right now, please comment on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whichever place you're seeing this video about what you like, what you didn't like. We also like you to please send us your email address so we can add you to our communications list where we do groups and other things going on during the year. So let's start off the news out right now with the updates going on in Israel. Yes, as you heard, Hamas has recently sent out attacks to Israel. I have to say that this has been going on since biblical times. It's over the Gaza Strip. Yes, you may feel it in Jerusalem. Yes, there are every day there's always some kind of air raids like we used to have here during the Cold War. They do it as precautionary issues, even if there's nothing going on. You'll see security around, you'll see military around Israel all the time. It's part of the nature, it's part of where they are in the Gaza Strip. So remember, if you're in, they don't want to hurt other people, even though they're hurting other people, but they're not going to bomb places such as Jerusalem or any of the holy sites, because remember, these are their sites as well, and they don't want them destroyed. Yes, people are seeing 38, 40 miles away, smoke and everything going on. Again, this has been going on since the beginning of time. And some things to remember that this is another reason to work with a travel agent, is that we got sent out to us from representing all the third-party travel insurance plans, such as AIG and Rome, and that's why I always use third-party travel insurances versus going directly to the cruise lines or the tour operators, etc. Always use a third party. They're about 10% of your total cost of your trip and very well worth it, because with issues like this going on in Israel and also in India, you can either cancel your trip and get refunds. Your airlines, you may get a credit unless it was booked with a land destination. You might be able to get your money back on that, but always airlines will give you a credit to be used up to a year from the date of purchase. So remember that. If you're in the country where they're having the issues and you want to come home early, they do have trip interruption as part of your insurance plan. So make sure when you're getting travel insurance and talking to a travel professional, if they bring up travel insurance, it's not just to cover the ticket of your trip. And sometimes that's thousands of dollars that you want to get covered because you can't go or got interrupted or you got hurt, and much more on your trip. So let's remember that. The other thing is, let's also remember when we're traveling to foreign countries, we have to abide by their customs. We are no longer in the United States. I brought this up yesterday about going to the beach, and then you leave the beach and you want to go to a restaurant or go shopping off the beach. Here in the United States, yeah, a lot of people go in and walk in their bathing suits and cover-ups and then go in. In Europe and outside the US, it's frowned upon. They want you dressed appropriate attire. Once you leave the beach and the water, they want you to be properly dressed. They want you, if you're going to a mosque or a church, that you're properly dressed with this head cover that's needed. You need to oblige. The big thing is customs when going through airport and passport areas. There's a lot of issues going on there. They want to make sure that you're not carrying drugs. They want to make sure that you're being respectful. There's a lot of things going on there. So when you're going through customs, please be respectful. Do not give them any reason to hold you or bring you aside, because guess what? They're in control. There are people being held in foreign countries for weeks on end, not being released because you did something that you thought was okay or silly or whatever have you. And it didn't work out. Case in point, there was a woman traveling to Dubai, and she was going through customs, and she recently had some kind of surgery around her middle, and they wanted her to remove, I guess, some kind of pressure covering around the abdomen. And she requested assistance from her friend to help her with it to get it back on. I guess they wanted to make sure she wasn't carrying drugs. And whatever she did, she must have touched somebody without proper permissions, and was told she was being inappropriate, and they wound up not allowing her to leave the country until she paid X amount of dollars. So just be very careful of where you're going and when you're going. I'm not saying this happens every place, but please be respectful. I think we see a lot of this going on cruising and airlines and so much more that people don't realize, especially with airlines. It's a federal government that oversees the airline. You can get arrested, you can be banned, you can be jailed. During travel, if you harm or hurt not only employees but also other passengers on planes, you could be arrested and put in the brink. Yes, there is a brink on cruise lines. You could be banned from them, and so much more. So let's try to be calm and to be respectful of one another. I think that's gone out. I don't know what happened the last couple of years since COVID. People lost their minds, I think. You see so many things going on. I read a story the other day about this blind woman in Walt Disney World, and she was online for a ride, and this person in front of her kept stepping on her guide dog, and she kept saying, please watch out for my dog. He's a service animal. And one thing led to another, and I guess he got very aggravated, and he kicked the dog and harmed the dog. And the cast member at Disney saw what was going on. The man was removed from the line on the ride, and he was banned from ever going to Disney again. And the woman did press charges as well. So, let's be. I don't know where kindness went. It does seem to have gone out the door. It's a shame. It's a shame, shame, shame. Okay, finally today, people have been asking about river cruising, and the first thing out of their mouth is, I want to go on the European river cruise, but I can't afford Vikings. It's so darn expensive. I have to say, Viking is a great cruise line. I've sold them. But just like here with our mass market cruise lines like Carnival, Royal, Princess, Holland America, Celebrity, there's different level of class, different levels of payments you'll have, and Viking is the top of the top. Why is that? Because of all the advertising they do on PBS. Okay, all the different things that they do with the orchestras and the different things that they offer for a higher class of clients. Now, for me, I don't like up in the air, uppity, snotty, that kind of making me feel uncomfortable kind of travel. I'm very laid back, like most of our clients. Maybe you do want the extra being on Viking and this and that. And those of you that love Viking, continue to love Viking. That's your choice, this and that. But to let you know if there's any difference in ships or destinations or food, etc. The ships are built the same exact way and from the same exact builder. They're all built the same. They all have that oval shape. They're only allowed to have X amount of weight and X amount of levels, either 2 or 3, because they have to get down those rivers. They have to get under those bridges. They have to go at the same speed. Food-wise, they are basically the same. They are much better than the mass market cruise lines because you have a smaller amount of people going. They have better food, but you're also going to the same destinations. I can offer you the same exact itinerary on the Danube. That's a generic. There are many river cruises out there. The Mekong, the Danube, the Black River. There's so many rivers in Europe that you can do, even the Nile River cruise that you can do. And the only difference would be is the price. The rooms are the same. You still get the rooms where you're, your window, you're looking out from your bedroom out with the closed window or the half window that comes down. They don't fully open all the way to the bottom of the floor. They have the half window. Some of them will have a pool, some of them will not. They have the entertainment. Some have, it all depends on which one. Not all of them will have air included. And FYI, air included isn't all what it's up to be, because you have to be able, you're not as flexible as if you wanted to go other dates, like a day too early, or you want to do, you don't like the connections, to say you don't have a choice when you're doing hair through the vendors. You're better off going and purchasing if you have points. If you're going, you're also better off going Lufthansa, Aer Lingus, wherever you're going to, is to use the airline of that country you're traveling to, because they also have better rates than the U.S. domestic airlines that go internationally. So think about it. You could get a $4,000 per person cruise on Viking, or you can get a $2,500 or less going with Emma or Riviera or I'm trying to think of some other ones, but there's also 1 or 2 that work with Disney where they're more family oriented. So there are many cruise lines out there. Uniworld comes to mind as well. They all go to the same destinations that you want to. It's just all about how much you want to spend to go on these river cruises. Finally, on European river cruises, there's no Americans with Disability Act. So there are no rooms on cruise ships for river cruising if you have a mobility disability. If you're a wheelchair, scooter, have issues walking, because especially when you have to get off or onto the cruise once in port, you are walking from one cruise line. You could be on Viking, walk over to Irma. You could be walking through Riviera to get off. So you could be walking across 3 or 4 cruise ships just to get to the port because they're all lined up. Or those rooms are not wheelchair accessible. They don't have the rolling showers. They don't have the different bed heights for you. They don't have it. So if you're looking for a river cruise, look at the U.S. river cruises. They are more money, but they're all inclusive. They also, a lot of these ports you could drive to or take Amtrak to or bus to. You don't necessarily have to fly, and you get to see the great country of the United States. think about that when you're traveling and you want to do some kind of river trip. Again, this has been Sundays with Cheryl. You can catch me weekly and Talk Travel with Cheryl with different special and travel news. Right here on YouTube channel, Cheveria Travel. Please click the bell. Please like us. Again, I don't know why the comment areas are not working here. So if you see this video on YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn, please comment there about the video you saw today, invite your friends and family. And we welcome you, all U.S. citizens, Cheveria Travel Services, adult-only travelers, especially those 55 plus years and older. We do group events. We do customized individual travelers. We do family reunions. We do destination weddings. We do so much more. Plus, we also work with special needs and disabled clients. And we've been celebrating working as a sole proprietorship for 17 years this month. So have a great day, enjoy the fall, and remember Cheveria Travel for all your travel planning needs. Thank you. 631-456-5394 or reservations at cheveriatravel.com.